Welcome to This Week in Redacted's first annual Haunted Tier List. Haunted locations or people. So we got 10 articles here. We're going to be doing 10. Going to be ranking them from ghost emoji, which is literally S tier. So that means
Ghost
irrefutable
emoji.
proof. Hell yeah, ghost emoji. There's no refuting that this thing exists in the world. We got up arrow, so that's like our A tier. So this is like, yeah, it seems like there's a bunch of stuff that's really, probably going on here, something interesting that we want to dig into. We've got the balanced tier that's like, I don't know, give or take, like it's probably, who knows. We got the down tier, which is just basically probably not, most likely not. And then we've got our shit tier, which is like absolutely not. There's no way in hell this thing is haunted. So our first 10 are coming from all kinds of different sources, but most of them are going to be familiar to Chris and myself because most of them are centered around Southern California in some way or shape. We got a couple outliers here. So we've got some castles off of Romania just because they're kind of classics. We want to throw them in. But yeah, let's dig into it. So why don't
Copy
we
that.
let's start with Annabelle since we were talking
Okay,
about it off camera.
we were just talking about it, right? It's the Conjuring universe, right? And it's the whole Ed and Lorraine, and it's based off of actual events and whatnot. Super haunted doll, creepy. They keep it in a case. There's movies about it, stuff like that. I'm gonna say it's the ghost emoji. It's S tier. It's one of the most famous ones. It's one of the most known ones. And dolls are just super creepy. Dolls, clowns, all that. Yeah, I'm not having any of that. Like, it's up there with just multiple events and things that have happened with that doll.
All right, so absolutely not ghost tier. Have you
You
seen the
don't
doll?
think?
Have you seen that doll get up and walk?
Okay, so there. Okay, so if you go to the wiki, which I know you didn't go into that. There's been lots of things about this doll, dude. That
This
it's like,
wiki that's already loaded up, that's ready to go.
yes, it's already ready to go. I mean, it just reads creepy.
Well, let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at some of the
Okay.
let's what are the big bullet points because I see a lot of stuff about the Conjuring universe, which is it's just a fictional universe. It's a television universe or film universe, right?
Well, the people existed.
Yeah, but dude, okay.
Ed and Lorraine were well-known paranormal investigators. Like that's what they're like the first. Now, could they have been doing it for money? Maybe,
Yes.
right? They
Yes, they
also
were
have a
doing it for money.
museum. They have a museum on it, but I think there's certain things like culturally, like worldwide, people know that like dolls sometimes get possessed. Like there's just like Chucky, the movie Chucky. That's what it was about. That the guy needed a doll or some type of soul to like jump into it, and that like, dude, the amount of creepy videos there are about dolls and getting possessed and moving, there's a lot out there.
Sure, but there's also I mean there's look, that's not an argument for Annabelle being S tier 100% irrefutable haunted, right? Because here's what we know. Like, let's take a look, right? Because the doll exists somewhere, right? It's in the museum. Da, 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 da. Yeah, the Warrens Occult Museum in Monroe, Connecticut. Oh, interesting. Oh, dude, I gotta tell my sister about that. Maybe she should go.
Go check it out. Go stream it.
Yeah, no, it'd be fun to take a look at. Oh, yeah, look at this. So we got a little blurb about paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine. So basically, they operated for decades as the preeminent voices in the believer community, right? Believer community. So they're already asserting that these things exist. That's terrible for investigations. And so anyhow, they got the strange career of ghost hunting and demon busting, and this is their occult museum. Definitely looks like it would be fun to check out. Holy shit, this looks amazing, actually. So here's a picture. This is creepy. Look, I'm not gonna lie. This is
Like keep
creepy as
going. Like I
fuck.
think they have the doll that it's inspired from because the doll that we see is not the actual doll that like the Annabelle doll.
Oh, and you can see my screen, right? So you can see
Yeah, I can
what I'm
see
looking
it.
at. Okay, great, great, great. So I mean, you're looking at this right now, right? And
And
this is
also
creepy
too,
as fuck.
Ed and Lorraine did not like how Hollywood sensationalized them. Wow, that was a hard word to say. Like they weren't. That's like I guess the doll what it really looks like. But because it's a Raggedy Andy or type of doll, that they couldn't put it in the movie because like copyright infringement type of thing. I think
Okay, so let's say it's what's the witching hour again? Is that 3 a.m.?
3 a.m.
Let's say it's 3 a.m. You hear a noise. You know, you
Go
wake
going
up.
back to the witching hour. Do you know why they call it the witching hour? Like why is it that 3 a.m. is the devil's hour? Also known.
No, why?
So for because it's Easter right now and it's Jesus Zombie Day, they say that that is the hour that
The bars
Jesus
close.
no that Jesus died on the cross, right? And the devil was given free reign for 1 hour at 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. And that's why it's called the witching hour, the devil's hour. I don't know what
Every
type of
day. Wow, that's a lot of free
3
reign.
a.m. That's like
Man,
nothing good happens at 3 a.m. It's also another saying, but yeah,
I believe
3
it.
a.m. is but it reads creepy, and they don't like how Hollywood portrays them. Also, and those movies are solid. They're solid movies.
Oh, hey, the museum's permanently closed.
Really?
Damn, that sucks. Probably COVID. I bet COVID made it too inconvenient for them to keep it
Well, the
going.
movies too. Like that could have also like they probably didn't sign up for that. It was just a museum and maybe the traffic because the first movie came out in 2013. Second one is 16, and then 2021.
All right, so here's my take. There's a lot that you'd have to prove in order to get to the doll being a ghost tier. One thing is there footage? Is there footage? Let's do a quick Google and see. Is there footage? Uh, footage of
Of the doll, like acting.
yeah. What would that even be like? Footage of doll moving?
Yeah, maybe. Oh, look.
Oh, hold on a second. Let me make sure that this is centered. Yeah, all this looks good. Okay.
This is the actual doll.
Tony Sparrow here, your moderator for the YouTube channel for Ed and Lorraine Warren. I'm here with a bunch of guys tonight. First, Dan Rivera, who's going to actually do this. He's going to move the doll out of this
It's just
space
they're moving it.
that
It's not actually
Ed
moving.
Warren had set up.
That's. I mean, hey, something might
We're
happen.
doing it because we need to do a few repairs on
We don't
this
need to watch any minutes of it,
stain
but let's take a
the
look.
entire case. And when Dan does it,
Oh, it's
he's
Oh,
getting
going to
streamed
remove
live
all
too. You saw that on the right?
yeah, and it was a year ago.
Stain. And we need to do some little minor repairs to reinforce it. So we need to take the doll out of that case, put it in the original Ed Warren case. So that's what we're going to do tonight. Now, people ask me a lot of times, well, how are you going to do it? Why do you do it? Well, we have to do it because of the movement of the case for repairs. But Ed Warren told me how to
Did
do
Ed
it
Warren
if
die?
I had to move the doll. And Dan just got recently blessed this morning by a priest, and so did I. And what we're going to do
Oh yeah, he died in
Dan's hands in blessed
2006,
holy water.
Oh wow.
Dan will also
and
put
Lorraine Warren died in
you don't want direct
2019.
contact with the skin.
From the
That's what
doll,
Ed told me.
They're
the
Don't
doll,
touch it with your
doll
wrist.
killer.
no,
And
but they're both dead.
move it as quickly as possible. Don't just linger with the thing. And don't give it a lot of recognition.
Oh, so they weren't even around for
So the first thing I think
The
we need to do,
movies.
Dan,
no.
Well, she was,
is
but
ready to place the doll in there. You have to go in and up.
He wasn't around.
Okay? This, when I open this up, I'm gonna grab
Okay, so gloves, holy water, you know, standard affair. Let's kind of scrub through this a little bit. Let's see what people were looking at that they found interesting, which is about here. Oh, they're saying their little prayer.
You ready now? Who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom, Lord, protect us from any.
I mean, this reads creepy, bro.
I mean, quick.
Yeah, but dude, first of all, the doll itself is just fucking creepy because it's like this oversized.
Doll.
That's a really creepy fucking doll.
Woo.
Like, who makes a doll like that and why?
Right? Nope.
And just close it up fast. Close it up quick. That's good, Dad. That's good.
Oh, that gave me the creeps.
The
It
comments.
being real.
He's holding her. He's holding her.
Holy Ghost. Come,
These are
Lord,
great.
grace, the Lord is
Oh
with thee.
man.
Blessed art thou amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners.
Dude, just look how it looks at you, dude.
Is the
Looks
doll
like it's
Catholic?
smiling.
Is she Catholic? Is Annabelle Catholic or is she Buddhist? Like, I don't
I don't
really
know, bro.
Now she's transferred. One more time. Okay. Now she's transferred
All
over,
that red light just reads,
and
yeah.
we'll keep her in there temporarily until we can do the noted repairs. Now behind that, just to let you guys
Okay,
know,
Lord's
behind
Prayer is
that
in the
is a Lord's
case.
Prayer imprinted, embossed in this case. Holy Son, buy tickets. And
So
very
look,
soon
here's the
also
deal.
we'll
Let's take a
be
quick
posting
look
the
at
VIP
the
part
official
for all
Ed
the
and
stuff
Lorraine
between,
Warren channel.
pretty big.
Because if
Okay,
there's
let's do that.
anything has happened,
Go
oh,
to
man.
videos
Yeah, this is gonna be so
and then hit
good.
popular. Popular.
Okay, so 30-minute real story.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch that because this is them talking about it.
Well, did Annabelle escape from the Warren Occult Museum? So let's put a pin in that, and we'll come back to this one, okay?
Okay. Well, it's only a minute and 49 long.
Yeah. But let's see if there's anything where like the doll moves, you know. Oh, interesting. We're gonna be talking about Amityville Horror and Ed and Lorraine.
They
Are
went.
involved,
They're
yep.
the paranormal investigators that showed up.
Perfect. So why the doll is so dangerous? 30 minutes. Ed and Lorraine Warren say vampires are real. That sucks. Also, that's going to be related to another location that we've got on our list. So raw footage, poltergeist. The doll that kills.
I mean, the amount of like Annabelle doll videos that they have is it's a lot.
It's by
than everything
far
else.
their most popular
Because it just
content.
reads creepy.
So there's nothing about the doll moving. Let's take a look at the minute-long Did It Escape?
Hi guys, Tony Sparrow here. If I look a little hot, it's because I just cut the lawn outside of the Warren property, and I sweat probably about a gallon of water. I feel better now though. I was getting a little lightheaded, but I had to do it. And I tell you, I'm in here in the museum because of the rumors that Annabelle has escaped. Now, I'm here to tell you something. I got to tell you something. I don't know if you're going to want to hear this or not, but Annabelle did not escape. Annabelle's alive. Well, I shouldn't say alive. Annabelle's here in all her infamous glory. She never left the museum. Remember, I have high-tech security here. If she had left the museum, I'd instantly know if something happened or if somebody broke in. I have good alarm systems here, and the police are very good to respond. They
Okay,
respond
so
within
Annabelle
a
has
couple
not
minutes,
moved.
maybe,
I'm going
if
to have to
that.
say,
But
in my
All right,
opinion,
where are you gonna put it?
it can't be ghost tier. We can't agree on ghost tier.
Because there's no footage of it. It's just hearsay, right?
No footage. No, there's not even hearsay. There's no one on their channel that's like, the doll moved. You know,
Okay.
like it's. So I think ghost
Ooh.
tier is out.
So what are you gonna put it? Where do you think like it goes? This is your your list at this point. You're like, nah, I don't think it. Oof, you think it's
shit
dog
tier.
shit? Oh
I
God.
don't no 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 look here's the thing. I don't think it's dog shit, right? I think it is creepy as fuck. There is power and fear. And that's why I'm also interested that there's just not like a lot of just like you Google this stuff and oh I saw the doll move because like I would picture people interpreting all kinds of shit based off of their expectations of the doll. So I feel like it's man. So you wanted to put it up here. I think I want to put it on the down, and I think it needs to go into the balanced, right?
Because there's no, at least right now, we don't know. There's no footage, and not even hearsay is what you're saying, right? Like there's not.
Yeah.
It's just Ed and Lorraine, and unfortunately, they're both deceased, right? And then we would have to go back and watch those videos, explain like why is it that it's so dangerous.
Yeah, I mean the doll's been there for how many years, and they've got footage on it. They've been showing it to people. No one's recorded anything. No one has said anything on their site. Everything is all about like how creepy the doll is, basically. So
Creep, like creepy 1 to 10. It's a 10. It's just like the size of it, how it's located, the odd smile that it has. I understand it's a kid's doll, but and
it
that's not
loves you.
that's the newer one too.
Yeah, it's and especially in that like red light, super fucking creepy. All right. I think that's gonna call it for Annabelle. Balanced tier, meaning flip a coin, haunted or not, who knows. Why don't we hop into the Amityville horror because this one I
Okay.
love this one. All right. So I've seen the movie like a billion times.
You seen the old one or the remake?
The old one, the original one, and apparently my mom read the book while she was pregnant with me.
Really? No wonder.
No
It
wonder
explains
what,
so much.
motherfucker.
No wonder you like this stuff.
Well, yeah, sure. So yeah, listen, the movie is creepy as fuck. Let's just be clear, right? Like,
It's a classic. It is a true American horror classic. The new one and the remake,
absolutely.
right? And because it covers, so spoiler if you don't know about it, it's like, what is it? Ronald Defoe Jr. He killed 6 of his family members in 1974, November 13th.
Yep.
And I don't even think that he was even the first person, right? Like, was there more
Nope.
deaths? Like, I don't even remember.
Yeah, so there was two sets of deaths, if I remember correctly. The movie focuses on a family who is moving into the murder house, basically, and get to watch their like lives begin to unravel. Now, what I like about the movie, and by the way, I haven't
The
read
movie is based about the George and Kathy Lutz
yeah
incident, right? That's what it's
this
based off of,
the second flame.
the second family that
Yeah,
oddly enough moved in 28 days after the first murder, which is creepy. As maybe that's why they got it for a deal. It's like you buy a house where they committed murder. What I don't know and I don't remember, because it's been a while that I've watched this movie and it's been a while since I've gone to the actual wiki, if they knew or not.
did they know? I think they knew.
Yeah, they bought it, so they did buy it cheap.
The real estate broker told them about the murders and asked if they would affect their decision. They said it was a problem. Yeah, they did know. So, um,
So I looked up the whole Ed and Lorraine for the same husband and wife team that went to go investigate a bunch of things. They went to go investigate it in March 6th of 1976.
okay. And the
And
family
they
originally
went.
moved in 90 or
So
75.
there's footage of this too, because Channel 5 News recorded this. Channel 5 New York. And then there's apparently infrared time lapse photography of a demonic boy.
Ooh, that's let's get that in here, man.
Try see
That's
if you could
what
find
I'm
that.
talking about. Do you have links to these?
No, I'm just this is off the wiki. I just literally just hit Control F to try to find when they went to go investigate it. It's under Legacy. Let's see if you could find the Gene Campbell infrared pictures.
Let's see. Gene Campbell. Infrared time lapse. Here we go. Here we go. Hold
Oh
on.
man. Oh, bro, this is the famous one.
Ooh, look at this. Nice.
That's like one of these famous ones. Like that's one of a famous ghost photography, dude. And that does look oddly enough like John Defio.
Okay, so we've at least got something. The claim that there's an infrared photo. This is the infrared photo. The implication is that this is the spirit
The
of
sun.
John Defoe. Really, here I need to copy this. That's creepy.
That's creepy, isn't it? Yeah, that's creepy.
Yeah,
I
that's
had
a
no
good one.
idea.
Just dropping it there. So yeah, that's creepy stuff. What else? What else was here? What other evidence did we have on this one? Couple parapsychologists coming in saying that it's haunted. Apparently, Conjuring 2 was made or built off of that. So here's the counterclaim: is that the family couldn't afford the house to start with, even at the discounted price, and it was bankrupting them. And they were looking for ways to. It was in fact affecting their lives negatively, and they were looking for ways to get out of it. And that's what caused effectively their departure, along with writing the book, and which became like a movie franchise. So you have to weigh those things together. Like as a skeptic, obviously I'm going to take that side. But here's the thing: for a tier list like this is
What are you gonna
where
think? Like what?
I mean
I
I'm going to start it balanced for this one. But
ooh, you're. I think that's low.
well, I mean we're taking an average for both of us, right? So if you think it's higher,
Yeah, I
what do
think
you
it's
think?
higher. I don't think it's S tier because it's because the fact of the second family was maybe trying to get themselves out of the mortgage because they couldn't afford it.
Yeah,
And
there's
then
a
and
good
then
reason.
also too the movies might have added more to it. Like, hype it up even more and make it even scarier where it's become a known destination, right? Like I think they built it now where to keep tourists away from it.
I'm good with putting it here. I think that's a good average, right? Like it would
And I
have
think
been
this is
high.
yeah, I think this is probably one of the stronger ones just because of the fact that like someone got murdered there and that's always creepy. That's always like,
Yeah.
it's like one thing when people die and they stay around and haunt the place because they don't know they're dead like the others, or their spirit still haunts the place. But the fact that 6 people got murdered here by one person, 5 people got murdered here by one person, and then he killed himself. And then another family came in and said like, "Hey, there's some weird paranormal stuff happening here." But then maybe they were trying to get out of the mortgage.
Yeah, it also could be just psychedelic mold or something weird causing people to, flip out. There's a lot. I mean, look, humans are weird. There's a lot of shit that could happen, but quite frankly, the fact that there's that infrared photo, who
It's
knows what
creepy.
that is? Like it's creepy enough that I would say, for a
It
tier
it, it,
list,
it put it up. It put it up significantly.
yeah. All right, let's take a look at the San Pedro haunting. So this is also known as the Jackie Hernandez case. It's about a poltergeist that occurred in 1989, San Pedro, Los Angeles, California. A woman named Jackie Hernandez claimed that she and her two kids, Jamie and Samantha, were besieged by an unseen force in their house that manifested itself in the form of a disembodied head, black shadows, moving objects, strange smells, and flying orbs. So, actually, have you heard of this one before?
Yeah, I think I talked to you about this one. There's actual video of it. I guess it was like a documented case about it. And it's that infamous scene where I guess one of the film crew or someone that was part of it goes upstairs and then like he felt like he was getting attacked and choked and then he has marks on himself.
This is the crawl space footage right here.
Yeah, that one is. I think there's like some weird stuff.
He has put together a lot of research on this haunting,
Hold on.
but pieces of the documentary.
When it got dark and I was alone, I still would have to wrestle with myself, and I was still going through the ordeal, I guess the after effects or whatever, of what had happened to me before. I was still traumatized, I guess you would say.
I can't stay here. I can't stay here alone tonight.
Anybody can come over?
Huh?
Anybody can come over?
Everybody's out. I'm looking around. All the lights are out. Everybody's out.
You alright?
I'm so scared and I don't even know why.
You feel something?
Yes.
Okay, here's the documentary. Ooh, we got the whole thing on here. Oh yeah, I'll check it out. Those graphics, man.
Top quality production there. I've seen this. They quoted H.P. Lovecraft. It's kind of funny.
What the fuck is this?
Oh man, you have to watch this on your own. Like
Yeah, I
this is
will.
what I watched.
Does it have the footage? Do you remember?
The one that I saw, it's the guy wearing the white t-shirt, blue jeans. He goes up a ladder into the attic, and he says something attacks him.
I've seen that clip before. Let's see if we can find that.
There,
Is that-
go there.
Right
Oh no,
here?
that's not it. That's not it.
And I knew I didn't touch.
Personally witnessed paranormal phenomena within the home, and the haunting would become even more terrifying. She observed the
Maybe in the
apparition
comments
of a
it'll say,
grown
like-
man sitting on this bunk bed in her children's bedroom.
Every time I've seen him, he's always been cross-legged. He's got a grayish. He looks like he's a corpse. It looks like a corpse. And he's got a grayish tone to him, and he's wearing a red flannel shirt, and his shirt is tucked in. His pants are high waters, and they're like the old gas attendants.
Wait.
pants.
I think
Is
that's
this
it.
That is it. Yeah. I've seen this before.
Not long after,
Yeah, you okay?
I'm fine. Any ordinary, science or anyone else.
at first glance, everything seemed calm. After carefully checking the bedroom and bathroom, Jeff and Gary decided to
Don't do
venture
it.
into the attic.
As long as I'm gonna
Don't go there.
Jeff's gonna come up.
Right? Like you crazy white people.
I'm fine. I feel a little queasy.
The white people. You see how there's no brown people there? We know better.
If I got a partner, why? It's so bad.
It was the first time in nearly a month that Jeff had been to the house.
Dude, he's been in other documentaries talking about like his encounter.
A presence which had literally
Yeah, I'm watching some other documentary about him.
something even more startling.
That's the one.
incredible was destined to occur.
Barry had the video equipment downstairs. He was ready to come up. I wanted to check around the attic just to see if there was anything unusual that had been moved or anything that had been placed around or whatever. Or if we could even see any kind of light that I captured on that film that first night.
At 12:50 a.m., Wheatcraft and Bame climbed into the attic.
As Jeff and I entered the attic, I remember feeling maybe just a little bit apprehensive, not really knowing what to expect or expect anything at all. As I went into the attic, kind of getting a first look around there, it was probably first impression it was mostly empty. I mean, there was nothing up there. There was no boxes for anybody to hide behind. There wasn't any other doors or openings. But the only real object that was there was a grape crate, just a small grape packing crate, and that really was about it.
It is. It's a wimpy thing. It comes out when I'm here alone, and then when people are here, it doesn't come
She was
out.
talking
We
smack.
only had two things with us. Jeff had handed me a camera, just a small little 35mm camera, and Jeff had a flashlight.
Barry, on the other hand, did not go up into the attic because since the first night that it messed with the video camera and wouldn't work up there, he decided to play it safe and he never took his camera up after that.
I remember spending probably just maybe 5 or 10 minutes up in the attic. All of a sudden, Barry Conrad looks up into the hole and he says, I think there might be something happening down here. We hear something.
Did you guys just shine a light down here?
Yeah, I know.
No, that didn't look what I like.
No, that's not what I saw.
Right after I see this light, another amazing thing happened. There was a sound in my left ear, and I'll never forget this. It just sent chills down my spine, and it sounded like someone snapping their fingers. It was just as plain as day, and it sounded just like this.
What's it doing?
You know, Jeff,
It's snapping.
I fully intended to come back here and tell you I didn't think this was a good idea for you to go up there. Just like that. Just like somebody just snapped their fingers right in front of your face. And I looked at Barry, who had the camera, and I looked at Jackie, and Jackie looked at me. We all looked at each other like, who did that? Who did it? And all of us at that instant said, it's down here, come down, come down, come down out of the attic, because we were very frightened.
After Conrad shouted for them to come downstairs, Bame approached the opening. Wheatcraft, still near the center of the attic, prepared to take one step. It was the one step he'd never forget.
What's wrong?
What happened?
I told you, get down, get down!
There was a momentary space in there where everything went black.
Jeff Wheatcraft was physically attacked in this attic on September 4th, 1989 by an invisible force that actually pulled him up onto a nail protruding from a rafter beam and actually tried to strangle him to death.
I don't remember being lifted up there, but I was actually hung. I was hung in an attic, and he helps me off of this nail.
He had a horrible time getting Jeff down from there, and those were very anxious moments that passed because we didn't know whether to go up there or what. We knew something happened. Jay, this isn't a good idea.
This isn't a good idea.
This isn't a good idea.
And what happened was I found Jeff was not standing upright. He was over like at a 45-degree angle, and he was entirely wrapped around one of the slats holding the roof up. I mean, his legs, he was like basically off the floor because his legs were wrapped around this beam. It was like he was like wrapped around there holding onto this thing for dear life. The expression on his face, though, indicated almost like he didn't even know what was going on. That was like one thing that impressed me about the expression on his face. I mean, it was obviously he was like scared and knew something was happening, but it was like he didn't know what.
And can you imagine just coming out of that dark space of time that I lost? I mean, I felt so out
Wow.
of control.
How do you explain that one, skeptic?
I don't know. He could have accidentally got
Hung
himself
himself?
stuck on it. Hung himself.
That's really interesting. I remember that clip. I didn't know that it was this particular case, but I actually did remember that whole story. I've seen it before. My first thoughts, though, are, man, that woman seems mentally unstable. Like, it doesn't seem like she's...
Okay.
Yeah, it seems like, you know...
Yeah, there's something else maybe there. I think also the thing too is I think they leave after that. They're like, yeah, I'm not dealing with this.
The camera
Like the
crew
whole
or like the whole family?
The whole production crew and camera crew. I think they leave after that. Which is like heightened it up more because she was like, things are happening even more now.
Well, You know, what can I say? It's from the 70s. There's a huge documentary on it. They've got actual footage. The people, if you believe what they're saying, and
I
it's
think
not
this is
staged.
it's because the fact is they're putting it all around the guy that hung himself, like got hung. They're saying that something paranormal pulled him up and then tried killing him, but at no point does he ever talk about like something, a demon or a ghost. It's just it could have been by accident, but footage, creepiness, the snapping part, multiple people, everybody felt uncomfortable there. I think it's balanced.
You want to put this in balance? Do you think it's more plausible or less plausible than Annabelle?
So I think it's higher than Annabelle, but it's a little
Yeah.
bit like I would put it like that.
Does Annabelle?
Like
I mean, I'm starting to wonder. Like, look at what
yeah,
we're looking at, right? Like, this is like a first-person accounting. This is actually, and footage. This seems actually a little bit more plausible than Amityville now to me. Like looking at just what we've seen from all these other ones, just because there's actual footage
multiple
of
people.
it happening.
Yeah,
Multiple people. Yeah.
multiple interviews, multiple things. They all say the same story. Like, cause there's another documentary about it, and they all say the same thing.
Okay, well, let's keep that in mind. I think this is probably okay as is. Let's just leave it like this. And then we'll do like a final pass at the end and see if we
Okay.
need to reorder stuff, right? That one's very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, everybody's favorite, the Winchester House. So I've been here before. I've done
Really?
a tour. Yeah. Yeah, I did Hearst Castle and also the Mystery House on a California tour. This place is fucking bananas. So let's take a look at the story. I'm surprised they don't have the story out here, but basically, I'll do the quick TLDR on it. If you want to pull up the Wikipedia page and just fill in my gaps, that would be fine. But the Winchester dude who created the Winchester rifle kind of went a little crazy with guilt about all the people that died from his invention, his Winchester rifles. And so that kind of haunted him as he was building this place out. And basically what he did was he felt like the spirits were haunting him. Or was it him or his wife? I actually don't remember. Someone felt like the spirits were coming back to haunt them. And so they created this house with all these like wacky ass dead ends and like rooms where the perspective changes to the point where there's like a door that's like really small and you can't get through it. And it's all there to scare the ghosts. And so the claim is that the ghosts of the people who died by the rifle were haunting the family, and they built this house to shield themselves from that.
I mean, that sounds crazy. I mean, she was the husband, the wife of the guy that invented the Winchester rifle.
Was it the husband or the wife that believed all this?
I don't know.
I forget. I'm starting to think because I haven't seen this. I haven't been there since I was in, I think in high school. I think it was my senior year. I went, or maybe even like my first year of college. They offer flashlight tours now. That's kind of crazy cool.
So do they haunt it? Is that what it is, or is it just haunted?
Let's check the site.
It was the wife. She's the one that felt it.
She's the one that felt it. Okay.
Yeah, she felt tremendous guilt resulting from all the deaths caused by the Winchester rifles, and that they were getting money off of it.
Okay, so basically the wife felt guilt around the gun guilt around people that had died from her husband's invention and built out the house to basically deal with it. So underneath the hauntings, we got visitors and tour guides claim to have experienced cold spots, footsteps, cooking smells, odd sounds, whispering, doors and windows slamming. We've got a couple
Oh, man.
investigators saying that it's true.
The number 13, that's kind of creepy.
What about that?
That the house has these features of 13 bedrooms, 13 bathrooms, 13 windows.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. And the nightly
I mean, here's my take on the Winchester House. It's an interesting piece of history, but cold spots in
Hearsay.
an old house, hot spots in an old house, sounds in an old
Yeah.
house, and it's built out in a very
weird.
very weird way. Yeah, structurally. So my take on this one is I'm not gonna say. Actually, I would say this is poop tier. I don't think that this holds anything.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it
personally.
has some weird things, right? It's got some weird hauntings, right? And some weird number. It's built. It's like. It seems like it was built to be paranormal. Is what it feels like.
That's why I'm saying poop tier is they built it under, the wife was like, oh, I feel all this guilt. They must be haunting me. And then she builds like hallways that creak and shit,
Yeah.
And then she's like,
I
oh, the
agree with
creaking
you.
is haunting me. Oh no, that means it's true. Pass.
Okay.
So let's go with poop tier on that one. It's a cool place, and if you have not been there, I highly recommend just take a day trip. I think you can take a day trip up there, maybe an overnight trip. Trying to remember when I went there. It's in Northern California. Yeah. It's fun. It's cool. It's definitely something to see. All right, we got 6 more of these bad boys to hit up. Next one is everybody's favorite castle, Corvin Castle. All right. So
Vlad the Impaler.
this is Vlad the Impaler's castle. Now, this one is old. All right.
14. What is this? Like 1446.
1446. All right. So this has seen a lot of shit. It's the center of the Bram Stoker's Dracula novel. The question is it haunted? Because this shows up on sites all the time as like the most haunted. Let's dig into this one. Haunted. What are we gonna get?
Glorious 480p.
Welcome back, y'all. This is Bobby.
I would
filming in,
love to see this
Transylvania
place in
Romania.
real life.
And this over here is the Corvin Castle. It's in Hunedoara, Transylvania, Romania. This one was built in 1458. It belonged to the famous and infamous Corvin family. They fought the Turks for about 200 years and staved off Turkish invasion into Transylvania, kept Transylvania European, and they ruled from here pretty much. It's a massive castle, one of the most massive castles, not only in Europe, but in probably the entire world. One of the top 5 most massive castles. Big moat here, and big bridge. We're gonna go inside in just a little bit, and it's probably gonna take me about a couple hours to see it all.
Let's take a look at just some of the interior. Kinky.
Torture instruments from the Dark Ages.
Dude, imagine dying in one of those. Jesus Christ.
Probably Dracula himself, Vlad the Impaler, was tortured in
Okay, so not much evidence here of it being haunted outside of, it's old.
One wish.
It's definitely a tourist attraction, right? This is kind of like how the Brits have all their torture chambers and all that shit set up, where it's like, yeah, countless people died here. It's probably the implication is it's probably haunted. But I think this is going to be a theme with a lot of the touristy style places. There's just no footage,
No, there's not. It's just who even knows if it's not even hearsay. There's just a lot of history, like actual history with a lot, and they say that I guess that was known to be his castle.
All right, so I'm going to say that this is a cool place for sure, but this is kind of shit here for me. This is like,
Ooh, that's strong. That's a strong shit tier.
well, where would you put it?
One more notch up, just because it's a Vlad.
All right, so you think it's better than Annabelle or less?
I think it's better than Annabelle because it's older.
Ooh, damn.
Yeah, looking back at it, like talking about Annabelle, like it's not as strong as maybe some of the other stuff. Because now I think it's just going old, like how old it is, and it's speculation that he lived there, Vlad the Impaler.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, well, let's hop into a place that I've personally been to.
Okay.
Hollydale Insane Asylum. So this is... Wow, out of all the places for me to pick images, this is ridiculous. Hold on, let me see if I can find just like a history thing on it.
This is the one in Downey, right?
Yeah. So this is the Downey's Creepy Abandoned Asylum. So now, as I remember it, because I remember doing, like, this was probably like 10 years ago that I went, maybe a little bit longer. Actually, it had to been a little bit longer. A couple of us went down there to explore a little bit because we had heard about the insane asylum. That's what it was being told as. But like digging into it, I think it was like a tuberculosis center. It was something like that. And then when tuberculosis got largely cured, if I remember correctly, they switched it over to like mental health asylum spaces. And then they moved all of the operations to like a new area, and they just kind of left this there. But the thing that was interesting was it's like several blocks worth of buildings. And the reason that they did that was because of tuberculosis, if I remember correctly.
It's tuberculosis and polio patients.
And polio, is that the other one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's why they think it's haunted, because obviously the amount of people that might have passed away there.
Yeah. And listen, I'm telling you right now, first of all, it is a destination site. Like when me and my friends went down there to hop the fence and explore a little bit, there was lots of people there. They had guards in shifts that were basically, and there's signs everywhere saying like, you're gonna get a ticket if you're in here. But we ran into like some international travelers who went here because it was like on a travel show or something. And
oh shit.
Yeah. And there's like feral cat communities down there. People are feeding all the cats. It was a very, very active place.
So there's a story that states that a patient slashed a priest's throat in the building. So that's one of the weird things there.
A bunch of Marines found a box of mummified legs in 2006. Okay.
Police trained there too. I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't, but that wouldn't surprise me. There was a big police presence. There was like guards, and there was like armed guards. It got to the point where like we had to duck a couple times, and it was like, all right, time to go.
Dude, being from Los Angeles, I've never even heard of this place. I've always heard about this insane asylum. They're like, yeah, there's an insane asylum, but I had no idea it was like in Downey, which is not necessarily close to like
No.
proper LA, you know?
It was a trek to get out there, and if I remember correctly, there's not a lot out there anyhow. But
I mean, it just reads creepy.
it reads creepy for sure. I didn't experience anything paranormal. It felt like it was another one of these like
Abandoned
historical
places.
sites. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think for me personally, what I would suggest is if you haven't seen it, it's
It's a thing.
actually take a go do the perimeter, because even just the shots on the outside are fucking creepy. If it still is there, it's got to be still there, right?
Yeah, I think so.
That does not look like it. You could stop by the Taco Bell on your way, you know?
Oh man.
I mean, this is the area. Is it gone? Or is that just like a... There we go.
Looks familiar to you now, like that.
Yeah. Here we go.
Oh man.
Yeah, dude. It's dilapidated. And like I said, it's like a whole block, right? Like that's the thing that stands out. Look at, there's barbed wire now. I don't think there was barbed wire when I was there.
That's creepy.
Yeah, look at this shit, dude. Here we go. Here's some of the... Yeah, there we go.
Wonder how you could get a tour. There might be a way to do it.
No trespassing. They do not want people there. It is, I mean, it is dangerous. There's stuff that's just like falling apart.
Yeah.
But even just, you know, I don't know, if you're bored someday, you're like, hey, I
Let's
want
go
to take a
check it
look at,
out.
yeah, some haunted shit or whatever. Like, there's like a whole underground section too. There's like an underground walkway.
So why
type
did it go
thing.
into disarray? Like what happened? Like do you know the history behind it? Like why it closed?
Fact check me if you know, but if I remember correctly, and this was like 10 or 15 years ago that I went, when we looked it up, basically they just, it was like a cost thing, and they opened up like a new hospital, like blocks away, to like accommodate for the services that were provided here. And you can see how big this is, right? Like this was a hospital, like a little mini town, and it was set up like that because of the tuberculosis and I guess, like you said, the polio, right? And
Yeah, to keep
so-
everybody separated.
yeah, and so they just didn't need that, and they just made like a new place and just left literally they just left this one, is what I remember.
I mean that's crazy. That's crazy big.
Yeah, I know, I'm still going, right? It's gigantic. Here's some
Like, it's
actual
just-
buildings finally.
yeah.
You know?
But that's just like crazy big. It's like a whole couple city blocks.
Yep. Yeah, it's wild, man.
It's that
Yeah.
whole area there. Yeah.
All that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Rancho might be the facility that they built up. Yeah, here it is. They just built this up instead and just left the other one. So, you
That's
know,
crazy.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I'm gonna say, I don't know, where do you put it at?
I think it's creepy. The Marines finding the mummified legs is a very
Yeah.
interesting thing. The story about the priest is really interesting, but I didn't see anything. I don't know anyone that has said that they've
It's
experienced
all
anything there.
it's like hearsay, not even that. Like,
Yeah. So I would put it at poop tier just because it's creepy, but it's like outside of it being aesthetically creepy, I don't know.
it's hearsay. It's just like, oh yeah, I was there and I saw some weird stuff.
Okay, and we're probably going to get into that with a lot of these other places too. So we've got
Well, all of these are going to be like that. It's just like, oh yeah, like it's plantation. It had a lot of slaves. This is like one of the famous ones, the Myrtles, right? Plantation.
Yeah. Do you want to explain this one?
I don't know enough about it. I've seen a bunch of videos of it.
All right, let's take a look.
Louisiana, I think it's the state it's in, right?
Yeah.
Some say the Myrtles Plantation in St. Francisville is one of the most haunted places in America.
Nice. We got
Oh, man.
YouTubers.
All these years later,
I guess what makes it all weird and paranormal is it's built on an old Indian burial ground.
Nice.
Being alone in this place is really creepy.
What's up, guys? Sam McColby. Welcome to Halloween! Today we are here with Nate and Amanda, the medium.
Oh my
Well,
god.
someone
hate
did
these
die
people.
in there.
between small and large.
Okay, so someone died, but I don't think there's probably going to be any footage from these scrubs.
Yeah, it's like so there's, well, I think there's like 5 famous TV shows that have gone there. Unsolved Mysteries went the remakes in 2002. After that, Ghost Hunters in 2005, Ghost Adventurers, and The Most Terrifying Places in America. So those are all like on the Travel Channel, History Channel, like they go and do that. And then there's a dedicated wiki to the legends of the Myrtles Plantation.
Oh, interesting. You got a link for that? Hold on, let me see if I
Yeah.
can find it. Is it on their Wikipedia page or is it?
Yeah,
like,
it's on
just
the
for
wiki.
them?
If you go at the bottom, there's go all the way down. Go up a little.
Okay, so we got Chloe, a slave owned by Clark and Sarah Woodruff.
She was forced to be a mistress.
Ugh. Cut off one of her ears. She wore a green turban to hide it. Allegedly she poisoned one of the daughters.
Yeah,
Okay,
there's
so
a lot of people that have lived there and died. I mean, it's an old building.
Yeah, so I mean, this is interesting. These are legends. So this is from the Unsolved Mysteries. Basically, did this happen or did it not happen? And there's some history to back it up. Not much
Yeah.
about ghosts, though.
Well, the little girl that haunts it, right? Like that apparently died.
Yeah, so young girl, 1868, despite being treated by a local voodoo practitioner, she supposedly appears in the room in which she died and has been reported to practice voodoo on people sleeping in the room. There's another ghost who's reportedly there. I mean, this is another one where it's steeped in history and it's got a very grim history. Not a lot of photos, right? Everything is about like the YouTuber, oh yeah, we made it, we're gonna stay the night in here, oh my god, I'm so scared, and Unsolved Mysteries is, I'm interested in seeing the Unsolved Mysteries episode now because it's probably more about the history piece of this than the ghosts. I'm gonna put this one, like, my take on this one is it a shit tier. What do you think?
All the classics. I agree with you. It's just so old that it's just not. It's not enough info.
Yeah, just straight up shit tier on that one. All right, we're going back to Southern California with the Whaley House. This is the one that you told me about.
Yeah, bro. Even though I told you about it, I don't even know enough about it. It's the one in San Diego, right? It's like I consider the most haunted house in America, right? Is that what it's?
Let's look. Okay, so it's on San Diego Haunted House Tours. I think that's the link. Yeah, that's the original link. Come on, people.
Here, I've never been to the Whaley House before, but just being inside of this home, I feel like I'm invading someone's privacy. So it is kind of weird. I'm waiting to see if a ghost's gonna pop around the corner or not. But I have Victor Santana joining us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
Great. Tell us about the history.
Ooh, here's some
the
history.
Whaley House and why it is considered to be the most haunted house in America.
Absolutely. So before the house was built in 1852, they had the gallows on the property, and that's where they execute criminals. So this one man named Yankee Jim Robinson was executed on site for stealing a boat. They believe he's one of the ghosts on site, one of them, one of the many. The other one is Thomas Whaley. He's the man that built the house. We're actually in the first building that was finished on site. It was finished in 1856, and it was meant to be a rat-proof granary. It wasn't really rat-proof. The rats still got in here, so instead Thomas devised different ideas for it. Eventually, it became San Diego's first commercial theater. Excuse me, San Diego's second courthouse. The courthouse was here from 1869 to 1871. And after that, the courthouse was moved to downtown San Diego. There was a bit of a struggle between Thomas Whaley and downtown San Diego about who owed who rent. They believe that this angered Whaley, and he is believed to be one of the ghosts still on site. You might smell his cigar smoke. You might even feel somebody watching you, and they believe that's Thomas, the man of the house.
Has anyone ever seen him?
Yes, there's actually been a few reports of people seeing him mostly at the top of the stairs looking down.
All right, so here's the deal.
Okay, that was interesting. They used to execute people there. Like, what the hell, bro?
A few reports that people have seen it is bullshit. I'm sorry. Ted from accounting saw this on Thursday at 9 is a real claim.
He's a real ghost guy, you know. I believe Ted.
I'm just saying, like, I believe Ted from accounting, not a few people claim to have seen it. Like, come on, like, give me a break here. So I'm going to say no documentation. It's got steeped in history, right? So, yeah, obviously.
I mean, the fact that they used to execute people there, dude, it's gotta, like, it has creepy vibes only because it's old.
Creepy vibes, but creepy vibes are not evidence. So
I don't think it's shit tier. I don't
Okay,
think it's shit tier.
hold on. Wait, I'm going to start with shit tier, and where would you put it?
I put it up a little bit. Nah, not that high. It's not. It's also hearsay. I would say in between Annabelle and that other house. Our list is wild, by the way. Like, it's like everything's shit. Like,
Well, I mean, most of the historical places, there's just not a lot of stuff. Now, Sally House is a little different. Sally House has a lot of documentation, if I remember correctly. Sally House.
that's the house in Kansas, right?
Yeah, so
This is where the little girl died, right? Like they failed the operation.
yeah, seems to be just an accounting of it. Hold on.
But there's like, I think there's like evidence, isn't there?
Let's take a look. I'm pretty sure there was actual photos on this one. All right, so we got the Sally House in Kansas. Built in the mid 1800s, it is said to be haunted by the ghost of a young girl who died in the house while undergoing surgery for appendicitis. That sucks. Story gained national attention after it was featured on several paranormal television shows. So it's reported to be haunted by the ghost of the young girl who died there. According to the legend, a girl named Sally was brought to Dr. Finney's house by her mother for severe abdominal pain, anesthesia, emergency surgery. He cut into her before the anesthesia kicked in. And as he continued doing the surgery, Sally was screaming because she felt the pain and bled out, which eventually killed her. Multiple former tenants have alleged paranormal activity. It has been especially reported by male residents and visitors, some of whom have claimed to have been scratched until they bled. And I've seen, this is where the real pictures come in. This is
I've seen the pictures of that, like where they scratch.
Yeah.
Like any male that stays there, like they get scratched.
Oh, in the 90s, it was shown on sightings. That's probably where I remember this from, actually. And Ghost Adventures also showed it. So let's take a look at some of the scratches, because I think that that's interesting and cool. Yeah, dude, the dream. You know, what is it? It was like $900,000 or something last time I looked. I think it was like
Something
around
like
that
that.
range. Man, if I could buy it and turn it into a bed and breakfast, I would change my career to be bed and breakfast haunted host. That would be so cool. If you own that house and you want to just sell it to me, like I'll you know, I can't afford it now, but like, hey, let's work something out. You know, come on. Well, I think that concludes our tier list for this week in Redacted. This is our first tier list. Tell us if you like it. If you didn't like it, tell us that. You know, if you don't want us doing tier lists. I think tier lists are a great way of sussing out the important things. I think that this is a good list here. I feel good about it. What do you think?
Yeah, I felt good about it. It felt fun.
Hell yeah. Well, like and subscribe. You know, if you stayed the full length of this video, thank you very much. If you liked it, you know, please thumbs up and share. If you didn't like it, thank you for watching as long as you did. It still helps us. And any final closing words, Chris?
No, man. May the haunting be with you.
May the haunting be with you. Good night, everyone.
Have a good night.